Patton Oswalt is a stupid, dumb, stupid person. Patton Oswalt, bring on comedy restrictions. Even prison? How about no? Far left comic praises rules that silenced Lenny Bruce and George Carlin. Patton Oswalt has no problem with cancel culture. The veteran comic and busy actor isn't afraid of the woke mob. He will be once they come for him, and they probably will, because if you make one little mistake, they will come for you. He doesn't say much that would trigger a cancel culture attack, for starters. He's a dyed-in-the-wool progressive, and his material rarely challenges the current group think. Think Stephen Colbert without the couch or late-night band. The closest he came to feeling the mob's wrath, he appeared on stage with old chum Dave Chappelle earlier this year, a no-no given Chappelle's allegedly anti-trans jokes. Patton quickly spat out an Instagram apology to anyone offended by his camaraderie. And yeah, I remember when this happened. It was around New Year's. He took a picture with Dave Chappelle, posted it on his Instagram, received backlash from the Alphabet Mafia, and then felt he needed to issue an apology for taking a picture with a friend. How pathetic. He's safe, at least for now. He expounded on cancel culture during a new interview with the equally far-left Hollywood Reporter. What he said about past comedy icons and the trouble they faced for simply telling jokes might surprise even Oswalt's ardent defenders. Here's the Ratatouille star, whose Netflix special drops September 20th, sharing his views on cancel culture in general. You shouldn't just cancel out of context, but I also think comedians have a responsibility to evolve and to try to push things forward. No, first of all, they always cancel out of context, all right? And what responsibility do comedians have? They tell jokes, all right? And pushing the envelope doesn't mean digging your feet in while the envelope moves forward. You should be ahead of that envelope. That's how you should be pushing it. A. Cancel culture routinely ignores context. True. I mean, look at what they did to Joe Rogan when the whole N-word controversy, all right? They took it completely out of context. They didn't care. They still tried to cancel him anyway. B. Who decides when and how the envelope moves forward? Right. Who does get to decide, these things? It's like, who decides what hate speech is, right? Yet, even the Annihilation comic acknowledges the insidious nature of the woke mindset, suggesting his current material may be considered offensive someday soon. Right, because that goalpost is constantly moving. Something you say today that's not offensive will be tomorrow. I do a joke about in the future, what am I going to be canceled for? And you don't know, but you want to at least try to keep progressing. What if he fails to progress enough by the new standards? He doesn't seem willing to accept that possibility, even though comedians who once donned blackface when it was culturally acceptable now risk cancellation for that comedy crime. Oswalt's next comments suggest he's ignorant about what his comic predecessors endured to allow him to say what he does on stage. The other thing I'd say is that comedy has always worked better with restrictions. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Comedians shouldn't be restricted. They shouldn't have to, constantly be walking around landmines, afraid to say the wrong thing because it might upset somebody. They think of the restrictions that Richard Pryor and George Carlin had, and before them, Lenny Bruce, and they found clever, brilliant ways around whatever the restrictions were. That's what made it so fun and thrilling. Yes, Bruce found it thrilling to see police officers at his shows, waiting for him to say the wrong joke and handcuff him. That's how the comedy giant operated for years. It occasionally meant he headed to jail rather than his dressing room at the end of the night, which is completely ridiculous. Bruce died at the age of 40 from a drug overdose, his future crushed by his demons and restrictions. Imagine being the interviewer and not following up on the Bruce comments. Here's a quick peek at the restrictions that made Bruce a better comic by Oswalt's estimation. Later that year, 1961, he was charged with violating California's obscenity law at San Francisco's Jazz Workshop. The jury acquitted him, but more arrests followed. Twice the trials resulted in a hung jury, but in Illinois he was sentenced to a year in jail. While that conviction was being appealed, he was deported from England, and in March 1964, he was arrested again on obscenity charges in Southern California. The cumulative stress of continued police harassment and prosecution was taking its toll, physically, emotionally, and financially, and he was officially declared a pauper by the U.S. District Court in San Francisco in 1962. Carlin also got arrested for telling jokes that the culture deemed punishable with the jail time, which is insane to me. All right, for telling jokes, you could be jailed, spend jail time. That is insane. Pryor's gifts would have shined brighter without the cultural boundaries he came up against as a young comic. It's baffling that Oswalt, who was 53, would either be unaware of his groundbreaking predecessors or unable to connect his fame with their sacrifices. Then again, he once compared Antifa thugs to the soldiers who stormed the beach at Normandy, so processing reality may not be his strong suit. Oh my god. Okay, so here's the tweet here. I'm 100% with you, Donald. Antifa has been horrible for so long. Here's some anti-fascist ruining a perfectly good beach day in France. Wish you could have been there to stop them. Oh my, this dude is comparing Antifa to soldiers storming the beaches of Normandy. Holy shit. This dude is out of touch with reality. And Antifa is nothing like that. They are actual fucking domestic terrorists. All right, this is insane. Okay, this dude is completely out of touch with reality. It's ridiculous. Comedy should not have all these restrictions on it. They should be able to say what the fuck they want. All right. Yeah, Patton Oswalt, you're an idiot. Go fuck yourself. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'm out.